Your girl went on vacation and I'm here to tell you all about it. Should I say Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Valentine's or whatever? I don't know, because obviously this is my first video of the year and I'm super excited to be back. I know I said it the last time. I'm back and blah blah blah, and then I never came back because yeah, life is happening. But it feels so good to be back. I mean, like this time around I'm back, like for real. This is our first 2024 video and I'm excited for what this year has in stock for us. This channel is all about positive energy. It's all about a safe space for all of us growing, becoming, evolving. And this year I went on my first ever vacation. Oh my God, saying it is so surreal. It's so, I don't know how to say it, but yeah, it happened and it was so beautiful, and I'm here to tell you all about it. I traveled to Zanzibar. I just got back. It was a birthday gift to my husband, and people who've seen my pictures on Instagram, on Facebook, have been asking how was it, what does it take to go there and all of that, which is what I am here to do. Maybe not really on this video, but I will give you all the deets of Zanzibar, the places we visited, maybe a recollection of the amounts that I think we spent. Those that I can remember, I will give it to you. Flights, everything, like what it entails to travel to Zanzibar. But let's just go back a little bit and have a backstory of what happened. So this is the story. It was my husband's birthday. His birthday was coming up, and how God would do it, it was almost the same time that I took my leave. And yeah, that's one of the reasons why I took my leave when I took my leave in February. My mother-in-law is around, my sister-in-law is around, and it was my husband's birthday. Like most of our children's birthday is in January and February. So I was like, okay, what is the best time to take vacation? And I took my vacation in February without any plans of traveling or something. And if this video is a sign, if you've been needing a sign to travel or take a vacation, maybe take this video as a sign. Girls, boys, ladies and gentlemen, travel, go on vacation. I don't know, just try, just make it, just put an effort, because I'll tell you why. When I took my vacation, I had no plans to travel, because first I thought that traveling requires a lot of money. A lot. Like when I say a lot, I thought it needs a lot of money, of which that's not true. There are places that you can travel for very little amount of money, but you just need to prioritize it. So the whole conversation started with a colleague at work. We were just talking and she was like, oh, you're taking your vacation, what's the plan? I'm like, no, I'm just going to spend time with family. She's like, I thought you're going to travel. I'm like, nope, I'm not traveling. And she was like, oh, okay. And then the conversation progressed, and she had been to Zanzibar before, and she was like, she's traveled there. Like, there are places that are not that expensive to travel to. And that planted a seed in my head. After that conversation, the next day, I kept thinking like, okay, so can I travel? Is it possible? Blah, 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 and all of that. And the next day I came back and I told her, I think I want to travel. And she was like, okay, so where do you want to travel to? And I'm like, Zanzibar. And I'm like, Zanzibar? She was like, I'm like, yeah, I think I want to go to Zanzibar. I want to use it as an opportunity to give it as a gift to my husband, because we've never traveled together, one, we've never been on a vacation, two, and I've seen him work so hard without taking a break. And I've always been like, if I have an opportunity to get him off the lens, off the cameras, off his desktop, I will not miss out on that opportunity. And there was life presenting me with an opportunity, and I had to grab it. I had to jump on it, and I was like, maybe this is it. Maybe this is a sign I've been looking for. And she was like, okay, so let's talk about transportation and everything. And that's how we started the whole Zanzibar shenanigan. And I just want to say thank you to Shaima, because she like dropped that possibility in my head, and she really helped me with the whole process of booking flights, visa, everything, and hotel, and like everything, literally almost everything. And then when I started the process, of course, it was a surprise birthday getaway. So I didn't tell my husband anything. I didn't tell anyone except just I and my colleague friend Shaima. We looked into hotels, looked into flights, calculated the money, and what we had anticipated when we finally went to book the flight, it was way more than that. And I just want to talk about this point because this is a new year, this is 2024, and of course I cannot come and talk about flight and travel and everything without also using it as an opportunity to encourage someone. This is a new year, and in as much as I know we've had our new year resolutions and everything, I feel like one thing you should put in your new year's resolution in this 2024 is to be aggressive with the things that you want. You should be aggressive with the things that will make you happy. I say that because when we talked about the flight and everything and the budgeting, and then when reality came, it was going above the budget and everything. I was like, okay, maybe I should drop it. Maybe I should just leave it and let it go. But thinking about it again, I'm like, why do you think you don't deserve it? Why do you think it's too much for you? It's too much of an amount for you to spend. And I was like, no, I've always wanted to take a vacation. I feel like my husband deserves this surprise. I feel like he deserves the break, and I'm going to take it, regardless of how much it costs. I had to be aggressive with what I want, with what I know will make us happy. Because at the end of the day, this trip was not just a beautiful gift to my husband. It has, enhanced our bond. It's like an icing on the cake in our relationship and all of that. So yeah, I just had to pause there and say that be aggressive with the things you want or the things you want to go for in this year. And I'm so happy I did that. So I was like, no, girl, it's fine. I'll continue with it. So we booked the flights, we booked the hotels, which I think I'll do a series about everything Zanzibar, because I've had people start asking me about cost and everything. Like I said, I'll do a series where I'll really go in depth on flights, what is needed, how to get the visa and all of that. Maybe I'll still mention in this video. This is just a comeback video, so just hang in there, just bear with me. We booked the flights, we booked the tickets, everything without telling my husband. And then I had to tell him because I know he's a workaholic, he works a lot. And I have to make sure that he clears his decks to make way for Zanzibar. And I couldn't just wait and then just give him the bomb few days to the trip. So I had to find a way to at least give him that ample space to clear his decks. And I came back that evening, there was no way I could not tell him. That day I had to tell him. And I've been thinking of ways to give him the news. And we've been contemplating. I'm like, okay, maybe I get a gift and then I put something inside and then I give him the ticket. I don't know. I just was struggling with all of that. And Shema was like, why are you like that? I'm like, I've been thinking of how to present the gifts, the news to my husband. And he was like, okay, let's think about it. And we came up with an idea. Do a puzzle, let him figure it out. And then when he figures it out, I will give him the flight tickets. So I came back that day, he was already sleeping. He was texting me and telling me he's so tired. He had a very busy day. And so he's gonna sleep. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, how can you want to go and sleep when I'm coming with a big surprise for you? I was like, it's okay, let him sleep. Maybe when I do the surprise, he would not be so sleepy. At least he's gotten his power nap and all of that. So when I came, I made sure I told my sister-in-law not to sleep. I was like, Cynthia, if you sleep, make sure you're up when I come back. She was like, okay, because by the way, she always waits for me to come back from work. So it was easy for her. She was like, no problem. And Eric is going to sleep, so I'll wait for you. I was like, okay, fine. When I got back, Cynthia was up. Cynthia was like, Mom, thank God you're back. I'm going to sleep. I'm like, no, you cannot go to sleep because I want you to take a video. And when I woke my husband up, he was like, what is it now? I'm like, no, there is something I want you to do, and it has to start with a puzzle. He was like, oh my God, I'm already sleeping. How will I do puzzle with a sleep in my eyes? Like, there's no way. I'm like, yes, way. He was like, no way. I'm like, yes, way. You are going to do this puzzle, and it's today, it's tonight. He's like, can you not leave it for tomorrow? I'm like, today. I'm like, today. And Cynthia was just like, you know what, everyone is tired of me, so like they just have to get used to me. And I mean, like, they're used to me and my things, the things I always pull up. And I woke him up, I gave him the puzzle, and he was struggling. And I'm like, I asked Cynthia, should I help him? Cynthia was like, no, don't help him, allow him figure things out for himself. Without even knowing what it was all about. Cynthia did not know. Cynthia had no idea. So when he struggled and then came up with the word Zanzibar, I gave him the flight ticket. And oh my God, you needed to see the shock on his face. He was so surprised. The most cutest part of it all was like, he was like, oh my God, you did this for me? And I'm like, yeah. And he held his hand like this. I'm like, oh, look how cute that is. Oh my God. And that was the beginning of Zanzibar. Yes. And from there, we had to get ready, everything, pack our boxes. And the day of the travel was a bittersweet experience for me, because I still had this trauma from a few times we've struggled to travel together. I remember sometime I was telling you our story, and I told you how we went to the airport and could not travel. He had to travel, I had to stay back. There was also a time when he had to go for work in Zimbabwe, and we got to the airport and he could not travel. Like, I've had that experience of getting to the airport and not being able to travel, and that fear was lingering somewhere on the back of my head. So I was just like, Z, you have to be positive. If God has brought you this far, everything is going to be okay. So when we got to the airport, there's this self-service thing at the airport where you just go put your passport, look in the camera, and then it opens for you to go. We got there, put our passports, look in the camera, and then they were like, no, we have to go to the immigration. My heart dropped. I was like, no, this cannot be happening. This cannot be happening. Not again. Like, not again. And we went to the immigration. They were like, these are new passports. We're like, yeah. They're like, okay, give us the old passport. I had my old passport. My husband did not. So I was like, I hope this is not another situation of you have to go and then he has to stay behind. And the guy was like, you have to give us the new passport, the old passport. And before we could even think, he was like, no, it's fine. We are just, you check in the system, whatever, and then stamp the passport for us to go. And that's how we passed the immigration. And you cannot imagine the relief in my heart. Like, I was like, it was a breath of fresh air. It felt like I had overcome a fear that I never knew I had. It was just like a trauma, sitting somewhere that I had to overcome. We had checked online, and you could either apply to get the visa online or visa on arrival. And when we tried to get the visa online, it was way more expensive than visa on arrival. So we decided to get the visa on arrival. And on the plane, they just gave us the form to fill, which was really nice because we don't have to get there and fill the form again. So with the visa, they just give you a form to fill from the immigration, just your name, your passport number, and everything. You fill the form and then you pay $50, which is what they gave us the form to fill in the plane, so that there we just give it and then pay the amount. We filled the form. It was a good flight. By the way, I have, how do they call it, phobia or whatever, for heights. So flying is always very, difficult for me. When I have to fly, it's like one of the hardest things. But flying with him, like he held my hand, he was like, you know what, it's okay, everything is gonna be fine. And then that was it. It was such a smooth flight, and we got to Zanzibar. It was a 5 hours 30 minutes flight. We arrived Zanzibar, went to the immigration. I was like, maybe they should have allowed us to fill our form, because the queue, if you can't pay your flight online, do your visa online so that you just come and pass and go. But if not, still the queue is there, but it's not like you stay there for hours and hours and hours and hours. I think if it's my country, it would have been worse, because we stayed there for like 30 to 45 minutes, highest, in that queue, because it's a lot of people and most people are doing visa on arrival. So we did a visa and then moved straight. We had to go to our hotel. Now, Zanzibar is not a very big, it's an island in Tanzania. It's not a very big city, island. But then we were in the north side of Zanzibar. We're in Nungwi. So driving from airport to Nungwi was a 1 hour 30 minutes drive. So it was a long drive with the tiredness and everything. But the feeling, I'm an African, so going back to African feels like home. I felt like I was home. The palm trees, the coconut trees, the roads, seeing bikes, the billboards. I was like, oh my God, this feels like home. Until I told my husband, I don't think you are enjoying it the way I am. I feel like this was for me. This was for me because I'm enjoying it too much. We had that long drive. I started asking about mangoes, asking about maize and everything, until when we finally saw roasted maize, I will call it in my country, burning corn. We had to buy. It was so nice to eat the corn. But then I was like, when we asked how much is the corn, the guy said 500 to 1,000. I was like, what? 1,000 for corn? Like, wait a minute, how is that possible? But let me tell you something, it's 1,000 shilling for corn. But guess what? 1,000 shilling is not up to $1. I was like, no way, these people have a problem with their currency. But it's very cheap. It's very cheap, but the fact that you buy one corn for 1,000, they should be suffering from inflation or something. And I was like, no, I'm not buying it. Maybe I should buy in dollars. And when you buy in dollars, you're cheating yourself. But I was like, hearing the amount, it has a thing it does to my psychology, because from where I come from, especially being in Dubai, 1,000 dirham, it's a lot of money. It will pay your rent, it will pay your bills. Depending on where you're living, it can pay rent, bills, and telephone bills. Like, it will pay a lot. So hearing I'm paying 1,000 for corn has a thing it was doing to my psychology. But yeah, it is what it is. We got a corn and then drove to the hotel. And when we got to the hotel, because my husband had a surprise up his sleeve, we could not go to our hotel room. They told us, oh no, you can use the facilities and blah, 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 because your room is not ready. You know what? I'll do another video for that surprise to give you every detail. There was a surprise waiting for us, or waiting for me. I don't know how you get surprised in a surprise. But yeah, my husband does that, so it's allowed. There was a surprise waiting for me. I got my surprise, which was very beautiful. Thank you, babe. I really appreciate it. It was not all about me, but yeah, you made it all about me. I really appreciate it. I'm so thankful. He's the sweetest man ever. Yeah, we got into the room. Finally, we got into the room, and let me tell you something. Before I went to Zanzibar, I did my research. I wasn't going to play. I was like, we have to make the most out of this trip. So I had gone online and I had a whole list of itinerary, which I'm going to give you detailedly. Some of the activities that we did while there in Zanzibar, and the ones that we tried our best to document as much as we can. And we have like in-depth of some of those activities, which I would do like one after the other. So because if I want to put all in this video, it's going to be way too long. So that day we went in, rested, but before even going in, I had to ask like if they had a tourist guide office or something, and they called us, introduced us to Martin, a very cool guy. And we're like, okay, so we have this. I had a lot to do. Like, I don't even know how I thought I was going to like exhaust the list. I want to do this, I want to visit this place, I want to visit that place. And let me tell you something, Zanzibar is beautiful. It's paradise in Africa. I'll make a video about places you should not miss out, which some of them we did. We could not exhaust our list. And yes, you can do a lot in a short period of time. But I feel like I would have had more days, because to do all of those activities, I could not do them in that short period of time. But I tried. We tried. Like, we wake up in the morning and go back to back. Okay, that's that. Let's leave it at that. So Martin was like, okay, so you have this activity. And I was like, no, I did not come to sleep. We have to start. And I'm like, okay, it's still early. So what can we do in the evening? And he said that we could do sunset cruise, which is because it's an island and our hotel was a beachfront hotel. So you're literally almost at the beach. Like, you wake up to the sound of the sea and sleep to the sound of it. So you just go down to the beach and there are tons of activity. Another thing I'm going to talk about in the subsequent videos, because sometimes, like just now coming back, people are asking me, did you use an agency, all of that. No, you can use an agency. It will make life easy for you, but you can also just go and figure your way out, because it's easy to have these activities. They are very accessible, because later on we discover that just going down to the beach, you have somebody proposing something to you like, okay, we have this, there is going to this island tomorrow, there is snorkeling here and there. These are things that you don't even need to bother booking an agency for. Of which, if you book an agency, it will still make life easy for you, because you just travel, go, they have everything figured out. But if not, you just go down to the beach, they are ready to sell to you. They will tell you, they'll give you details and everything. And the prices, something I'm going to talk about too, because there you have to be up with your bargaining power, because they can be selling something for $10 for one person and selling it to you for $50. You have to know how to bargain. By the way, it's Africa. Africa, we bargain. They tell you 40, you tell them I have 10. They say no, give 15. You say no, I am on 10, and maybe you guys end somewhere between 15 and 12. So your bargaining power has to be on top. So Martin told us some of the things that we could do in that evening, and we chose to do sunset cruise. So they gave us a time. It was so beautiful, one of the most beautiful sunsets I have witnessed. Went down to the beach, took the boat, traveled to some other island. I mean, and like we passed by the island and just got to a point where you could see the sunset. Like you see the sun like setting down on the water, and it's so beautiful. We stayed there. They have all these drums. They are playing music, traditional music. They serve fruits, snacks, water, soft drinks, and then there is beer if you want to buy. It costed us just about $10 each, and we did sunset cruise, which was really, really nice. I really loved it. Came back and then had dinner. And that was it for the day. And then the next days we just went on and on with the activities. We visited the zoo. We saw crocodile. We fed monkeys. We saw this giant ostrich. And I got to find out something about ostrich. Like, it's big, it has a long neck, but a very small brain. When they said, I was like, I thought it was such a smart animal or bird or something. But yeah, like, that's it about traveling. When you travel, it just opens your mind. You learn a lot. And then we saw bush baby, snakes. I even held the chameleon.
Because
I'm like, thinking about it, it's a little scary, but that's the thing. When you're out there, you're adventurous, you try things, you push your limits. I held a chameleon, but the snakes, no. I was like, no, I'm not going closer to you. We are not friends. We can never be friends. I'm scared. I'm still scared. So I just saw it like from where it was. Yeah, but it was a beautiful experience. We went to Nakupenda Island. That's some of the things that if you have to go to Zanzibar, places you have to visit. You must visit because it's so beautiful. We went to Stone Town, we went to Prison Island, we went snorkeling, swimming with the dolphins, we went to Spice Farm. Because Zanzibar, they call it a spice island. So why will you visit the spice island without visiting the spice farm? And I was blown away by the things I learned in spice farm, because some of the spices, some of the things that we know, we hear about them, but we don't even know how they come about, or certain information about them. Like for example, I knew that there's a big difference like white pepper and black pepper, but it's basically the same thing. It's just how you process them. You determine if you want to make white pepper or black pepper out of the same thing. I will post a video about that. I'll do a video about that. We learned all of that about vanilla. I mean, God's creation is so beautiful, and I got to see that with nut milk. Nut milk is like a germ. Like from the seed, you open it, then it's something else, and then you open it. Like it just has layers to it. And it was such a beautiful experience to learn about all of these spices, get to know them. We had tropical fruits. I've never eaten so much fruit in one sitting. Like you're eating mango, they're bringing you watermelon. You're eating watermelon, they're bringing you pineapple. I'm like, oh my God, jackfruit. It was beautiful. I met an amazing friend who decorated me, decorated my husband. We're literally king and queen of the jungle. It was so beautiful, and he made me this nice ring, gave my husband, and my husband proposed to me. I'm like, Zita, they propose to you every 3 market days. I enjoy, like I always have my moment. It was so beautiful. Our last trip was to Stone Town, one of the oldest towns in Zanzibar, and the streets are so beautiful and very intriguing because the streets are so narrow. And then it's like this zig, 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 zig. You can literally bump into somebody, and it's so beautiful. Visited the fish market, the beef market, vegetable market, and I just had that sense of home. It felt like I was back to my country. I felt like if you are from Cameroon, you had the vibe of Douala mixed with Limbe and the bougie Kribi. So it's like a combination of both. And I will tell you something, if you're traveling to Zanzibar, Nungwi is a good place. If you want to just have a calm head, it's not noisy, it's so calm and quiet. It's made mostly of tourists, so it's a little bit pricey when it comes to certain things, but then you have that calm, cool head. And then Stone Town. Stone Town is African vibe. It's noisy. If you want to like really just mingle with the locals, I will tell you, okay, split your stay more in Nungwi and maybe give yourself 2 or 3 days in Stone Town. We did not do that. We took all of our stay in Nungwi, but we had to visit Stone Town twice because we could not exhaust Stone Town in 1 day. But I really loved it. I will not say I wish I stayed in Stone Town, but for someone that wants to have that African vibe, really get to mingle with the locals and feel like you are in Zanzibar, you're in Tanzania, you're in Africa, have maybe 2 or 3 days booked to stay in Stone Town. It was quite a beautiful experience. We went to, they have this garden where that's where you really get to see how the Zanzibar people live their life, and you have the diving, you eat local food. That was such a good experience. But then the noise and everything, I was like, no, I love it, but I still love the fact that I stayed in Nungwi because it's really just calm, it's quiet. And one thing about Zanzibar, which I would say is a plus, is it's very safe. They never gave us any reason why you should be scared. Like, you know, this is not me bashing my country, but if you are in Douala, you know, if you travel to my country and you're in Douala, you are not very protective. They will steal from you. You will not feel very safe. In Zanzibar, no, we do not feel that way. And the people are very nice. They greet you. Like, you feel like they know you. They see you, Hakuna Matata, Karibu Sana. Like, they are just so nice and so friendly. You will not ask for something and someone gives you an attitude. They will answer you, give you all their time. That was so nice. Considering me living in the UAE, in Dubai, in Sharjah and Dubai, where sometimes you even greet people in the lift and they don't answer, to meeting people every day and they're like, good morning, Karibu, this, that. It was so nice. They are really friendly. Another question someone has asked me is, is it safe to travel solo? Yes, it is safe to travel solo. You can go to Zanzibar by yourself. One thing about traveling solo is you don't have to tell people I'm traveling solo, but you can travel solo. Because I feel like if you tell someone that I'm traveling solo or I'm just by myself, it can put ideas into their heads. But then you can be by yourself, live in a hotel, go out, have fun, come back, and it's safe. The country is very safe. I don't know if they have a history of thieves or something. I have not heard about it. I did not experience it. It's very easy to go about activities. And yes, I would say Zanzibar was one for the books. And it's the beginning of my chapter called traveling. It's so beautiful talking about this because I've always waited for the day I get to travel. I mean, growing up, I was like, when do I get on the plane? I really want to get into the plane. I dream and hope for the day I'll get on the plane. And then an opportunity came that I had to travel and come to Dubai. And then I was like, I pray for the day where I could just travel and go and rest. And that day came, which is another thing that I want to use an opportunity to say, dreams do come true. Your dreams are valid. You just have to be patient with yourself. Traveling on vacation will not need you a bank. You know, you don't need the worst money to be able to take vacations. You can start little, just like me, go to Africa, look into countries that are very cheap, you know, and you go according to your pocket. I cannot say Zanzibar is very cheap, or I cannot say Zanzibar is expensive. It depends on you, the hotels you choose to stay in, the kind of food and restaurants you choose to eat in. Because if you are eating like in a local restaurant, of course it will be cheaper. But if you want to go to the bougie restaurants, it will be expensive. Because there are times where we had meals for like up to $90 just for dinner. And then there are times where we had a lot of meal that we could not even finish in one sitting for not up to $20. So it just depends on where you are eating. So that is it about like a general overview of our experience in Zanzibar. Will I want to do it again? Obviously. Yes. I want to do it again. I don't know if that's the word. Has it done something to my psychology? Yes. It has made me know that it is possible to travel. It is possible to take vacation on a budget. It has given me that even more possibility to look forward to other trips, which maybe I'll become your travel blogger. Yes, I'm looking forward to so many other trips. I'm waiting to book the next vacation, and yeah, if you needed a sign, this is it. Maybe you should think about traveling to Zanzibar. And with all the videos I'm going to do, I'll give you more reasons to travel to Zanzibar. You will love it. Yes, you will love it. And I had such a good time, and I cannot wait to keep giving you all the details, of our trip, some of the things we learned, some of the things we're not so aware of, and that being there now really opened up our minds to. And yes, that is it about our Zanzibar trip. Like I said, I'm going to be giving you more details, but like, yeah, Zita is back. Maybe this time for real. And guys, we hit 500 subscribers. Oh my God, I'm blushing. How did I get so lucky? even though I'm not 100% consistent, which I'm not proud of. But guys, thank you so much. You have been very patient with me, and 2024 I've just been struggling to find a balance to do YouTube, not just because I want to sit here and talk, but to be really valuable to you. That's why this year I'm really trying to create a balance in a way that I'll be more valuable. You'll be seeing other people on this channel. You'll be seeing my husband a lot. We'll be talking a lot about so many things that I think are necessary and valuable, and we are going to be learning so much from one another. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. If you have any question about Zanzibar, Elysian Zita on Instagram, Acha Zita on Facebook, and Elysian House on Facebook. If you are not following me, go to my social media, follow me, ask me questions, even not just about Zanzibar and other stuffs which we'll be discussing. I hope and I pray I will try my best to be more consistent and to show up to you guys fully and the best way possible that I can. That was it for today's video. I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, keep your questions coming, and I'll see you on our next video. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful day.